Assembly Member Calra, this is item 8, AB 1993.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. AB 1993 would help address the housing needs of California's growing aging population by expanding the number of individuals residential care facilities for the elderly, or RSFEs, can serve by replacing the 6-bed cap with the 10 or fewer cap. RCFEs are community-based homes that offer housing arrangements for various levels of non-medical care and supervision. Older adults are the fastest growing population of unhoused individuals in California and are at greater risk of becoming homeless. They often have a harder time finding accommodations that can meet their specialized care needs in a setting best suited for them. Existing law caps small RCFEs to 6 or fewer residents. In order for these facilities to expand by just 1 bed, if they're at the max of 6 beds, they must obtain a conditional use permit from their city or county, regardless of whether they already have the space. And if anyone's worked at the city level, you know how hard it can be to get a conditional use permit. Unfortunately, these types of permits are rarely issued and can be a complicated process for small RCFE operators, which limits their ability to expand and, as a result, is a barrier to an otherwise available bed. By allowing RCFEs to expand and serve more people, AB 1993 can help ensure older adults who choose an assisted living home can remain in their communities while also receiving the 24-hour non-medical care they need. Additionally, ensuring these homes meet the safety and building standards to expand is a priority. So under this bill, RCFEs would still be required to be consistent with the Department of Social Services and community care licensing. With me to provide testimony and support is Mia Kang, California Commission on Aging, and George Kutnerian, Senior Vice President for 6 beds.
All right, thank you. 2 minutes per witness, please.
Thank you to the chair and members. My name is George Kutnerian. I'm here with 6 Beds, which is a statewide trade association representing the small residential care facilities for the elderly, or RCFEs, serving 6 or fewer residents. I'd like to start by thanking Assemblymember Calra for continuing to champion this important public policy issue. The original statute that this bill seeks to amend was enacted back in 1986. Almost 40 years ago. At the time, it was a groundbreaking piece of legislation that spawned the creation of what is today a 6-bed RCFE ecosystem comprising approximately 5,500 facilities. However, times have changed. Our population has changed. By 2030, there will be 10.8 million older adults in California, compared to only 3 million in 1990. 1.8 million Californians 60 and over live alone, and older Californians are living longer with more chronic illnesses. Not only has California's population changed, so have the economics of aging, with over 2 million Californians aged 60 plus being economically insecure, facing rising costs of housing, health, and care. In fact, among the unhoused, older Californians are the fastest growing age group. California's small RCFEs, like the older Californians they seek to serve, are facing some of the same challenges, such as higher than ever housing costs. Unfortunately, the current statute has fallen behind the times. AB 1993 can change all of that by allowing RCFEs the option to go up to 10 beds without being subjected to the complicated, time-consuming, and highly discretionary conditional use permitting processes that are often fraught with NIMBYism that has the effect of limiting housing and care access for older Californians. Leveraging an existing supply of 6-bed RCFEs, many of which already have 3 or more bedrooms and can currently house more than 6 residents, AB 1993 could result in thousands of additional beds in a very short amount of time. Today, this committee has an opportunity to take a step towards California once again taking a leadership role by advancing innovative legislation that furthers the public policy goal of California improving access to housing for all ages and stages. We respectfully ask for your aye votes, and I'm happy to answer any of the committee's questions. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair Lee and committee members. My name is Mia Kong, and I'm a commissioner on the California Commission on Aging. We're a proud co-sponsor of this bill. Housing has been one of our major priorities in the California Commission on Aging. And I can attest from my experience as an affordable housing developer building many senior communities that the need of the older adult population is in great need. Many older adults have financial resources that don't qualify them for in-home support services. Others require more care than what in-home supportive services can provide, and others have insufficient resources to afford the extraordinary cost of 24-hour in-home care. Any of these individuals may decide that living in a residential care home may be their very best option. In California, the Department of Social Services Community Care Licensing, CCL, inspects, regulates, and determines the number of beds the RCFE is approved for. This determination, based on the licensing skills, staff ability, and building features, among other things, require that no more than 2 persons are allowed per bedroom. Currently, in most cities and counties, private home RCFE operators are limited by local zoning and use laws, and this limits the productivity of the homes. RCFEs can serve more than 6 beds. They must get those conditional use permits that are often impossible to get. AB 1993 would change the 6-bed caps to 10 or fewer to allow private homes, RCFEs, when approved by CCLE-L, to expand the number of individuals they care for while still being considered a residential use, which is critical. So these folks can remain housed in the very communities in which they have been living. This increase in capacity will allow more older adults and their families who choose to live in assisted living to remain in these very familiar neighborhoods, also receiving the 24-hour non-medical care they need. We want to thank Assemblymember Calra for authoring AB 1993, which prioritizes older adults and their families, and we respectfully ask this committee for an aye vote.
Thank you. Now, do we have any witnesses in support in the room who wish to come express their support? Please come to the microphone, please.
Good afternoon, Lisa Coleman with the California Commission on Aging. Want to thank the member and strong support.
Heather Harrison with the California Assisted Living Association in strong support.
Amber King with Leading Age California in support.
Jason Gappart with the Alzheimer's Association in support.
All right, now do we have any opposition to this bill? Please come forward. Any members of the public? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to committee. Any questions or comments? Vice Chair Saley?
No, I had a question. My understanding is these are kind of like homes that have been converted into residential facilities. 6 people seems like, a lot. So if we increase it to 10, are there going to be some safeguards to make sure that some unscrupulous people aren't just packing a bunch of seniors in like bunk beds and little rooms? Like, is there some safeguards to make sure that we're just not going to pack seniors into spaces that can't really give them dignity and space?
Yeah, certainly understand the concern. Title 22 already regulates this, so there's a max of 2 residents per bedroom. Community care licensing is in the buildings every year inspecting, so this is already an area of oversight for them.
Okay, so there's already
It's already in place via Title 22 regulations. That's right.
All right, that's all I had.
Any other questions or comments from the committee? Seeing none, I'll let the author close.
I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Thank you for bringing this bill forward. I'm recommending an aye vote. Do I have a motion and a second? So moved and seconded. Moved by Assemblyman Ortega, seconded by Assemblyman Calderon. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
File Item 8, AB 1993. The motion is to pass to the Assembly Appropriations Committee. Lee?
Aye.
Lee, aye. Asaley? Asaley, aye. Calderon? Calderon, aye. Gibson? Gibson, aye. Jackson? Ta? Ortega? Ortega, aye.
5-0, that bill is passed. We'll leave the roll open for absent members. Now,